1.5 hours till touchdown on the lunar surface. What those final moments are going to be like, the 15 minutes of terror before the actual touchdown takes place on the moon's surface. Watch this report, it explains it and breaks it down perfectly for you so you understand what you're going to be looking at once our live coverage of the live data begins at 5:20 p.m. Watch this report. The Indian Space Research Organization has successfully reduced the orbit of the Chandrayaan-3 mission's lander module Vikram on Sunday. Vikram is on its own journey towards the lunar surface now. Equipped with 4 landing legs and 4 landing thrusters of 800 newtons of force each, Vikram is designed for a soft landing on the moon. It carries within it a rover named Pragyan. Chandrayaan-3 is largely a replica of its predecessor Chandrayaan-2. Chandrayaan-2 was launched in July 2019 in the form of an orbiter and a lander Vikram bearing a rover Pragyan. Vikram entered into orbit around the moon, but the surface mission failed in September 2019. The lander Vikram crashed instead of executing a slow descent. ISRO later identified a problem. Based on it this time, ISRO has strengthened the lander's legs, lowered its minimum thrust, enhanced the availability of power, and upgraded the landing sequence to a soft landing.
Solar feeding us.
The Vikram lander is currently traveling at about 25 kilometers above the lunar surface at a speed of 6,000 kilometers per hour. From this, it needs to come down to a speed of 1 meter per second within seconds. It then further needs to make a sharp 90-degree turn as it starts moving away from its orbit. ISRO will need to make some major adjustments at very quick, almost breakneck speeds. To achieve a successful landing, Chandrayaan-3 has lander hazard detection and avoidance cameras that will be used to coordinate with the orbiter and mission control as the lander makes its careful descent approach to the surface of the moon. Vikram, the lander module, also carries Laser Retroreflector Array or LRA. It would carry out a passive experiment to understand the dynamics of the moon system. Once the soft landing is achieved, the rover Pragyan will be deployed on the lunar surface on the South Pole to carry out its own research to find evidence of water molecules.
So we are going to measure it for the first time. What is the kind of profile that will be existing? So you have a probe that will be inserted into the lunar regolith. We will penetrate up to around 10 centimeter for probing. Actually 14 centimeter including the tip. The tip will be actually aiding us to penetrate. So 10 centimeter of the lunar surface will be probed. Temperature will be measured. And basically it will give you the conductivity. This regolith can be a building block for future space bases, lunar bases. Chandrayaan-3 is the third installment of the Chandrayaan series and represents India's second attempt to achieve a soft landing on the moon's surface. So far, only 3 countries have successfully landed spacecraft on the airless lunar world. Failure of the recent Russian moon mission has put the limelight back on India's Chandrayaan-3. Now remember, there are very many complex technologies that make up the Vikram lander. There is a 15 minutes of terror that the scientists will have to navigate before that landing actually happens. But there are also some basic physics and basic technologies that go into the landing mechanism of the Vikram lander. And I'm joined here by a person who APJ Abdul Kalam had called the drone man of India. So very happy and privileged to have Milind Raj with us. He's a very well-known, well-regarded scientist and researcher in the field of drones, robotics and things like that. So he's here in his element. As you can see, he's got a lovely little model of the Vikram lander also in his hand. Milind, what do you want to share with us about the landing mechanism?
Right, so today is the most interesting day in the history of our country, of course, because today we're going to create an example that the world will going to witness our technological success.
Yeah.
So this here I have the Vikram lander. So now most of the people are very curious to understand like what exactly Vikram lander is going to do at 6 o'clock maybe or somewhere near about that time. So now this is a look-alike of a Vikram lander, a very close model to what actual lander it looks like. So now I'm going to tell you like what are the improvements compared to Chandrayaan 2,
Yeah.
the Chandrayaan 3 lander, and what exactly this machine is going to do. It's full of complicated technological engineering. So basically this is the final stage that we are now heading towards. And Vikram lander is powered by solar cells. So there are solar cells which is giving it power. So today, once this is going to make a vertical soft land. Now it is very important to understand what is a vertical. Right now, at this very second, this lander is orbiting in a horizontal form.
Right.
Like
With forward motion.
yeah, forward motion. So it's going something like this, in a horizontal line. The toughest thing is to bring it on a vertical axis like this.
So it has to turn completely
Right.
90 degrees.
Right. So right now all 4 engines. So if you Google search any images of the lander, it looks somehow like this. So there are 4 engines beneath it. Now right now all 4 engines are on. So once we're going to bring it from horizontal to vertical with this axis, then only 2 engines will be put to action and rest 2 will be shut down. These 4 engines are going to assure that there is a maximum balance achieved once it's going to vertical land.
Right, right.
Because it is the most.
So it doesn't topple.
Right. And in case if it topples, then the mission might face another challenge. But I'm sure it's not going to happen. So these 4 engines are going to ensure that it lands vertically down on a soft land.
Right.
Soft land is when it touches the moon surface softly, perhaps at a speed which is lesser than 10 kilometers per hour or something. So just imagine from a speed of 6,000 kilometers per hour all the way to 10 kilometers per hour, so nearly nothing.
Yeah.
And that too in a place where there's no atmosphere, so you can't even have
Big
those
deceleration.
It is big de-boosting, de-acceleration. So, and that too you cannot have propellers like in helicopter because there's no atmosphere.
Correct.
You cannot have a parachute either. So now the rocket engines are going to ensure that it lands soft land and vertically. And once it lands, then what's the next step? Once it touches the moon surface,
Or the little baby comes out.
yes. So now you can see the ramp will unveil itself.
Yeah,
And once the ramp will come out, our super favorite Pragyan rover is going to come out.
6 wheels.
6-wheel robot, 3 each side, and this rover, which you call as Pragyan, is going to do all the exploration. Is going to find the elements, minerals, and also the much awaited, like we're going to have some traces of frozen water on the moon surface.
He's the guy who's going to be sending out the pictures.
Of course.